The US Navy is building a new type of aircraft carrier, the Ford class. These ships are massive and advanced. However, the Ford class comes with a hefty price tag. Each ship costs billions of dollars. One of the biggest concerns with the Ford class is its complexity. This complexity makes them more prone to breakdowns. Their size makes them a tempting target for enemy missiles. Some experts believe the Navy should invest in more affordable, less vulnerable platforms. Aircraft carriers have been the backbone of the US Navy for decades. These floating air bases allow the US to project power around the world. They played a crucial role in World War II, the Cold War, and more recent conflicts. However, the future role of aircraft carriers is uncertain. The world is changing, new threats are emerging. One of the biggest challenges comes from China. China is rapidly building up its military. It is developing advanced weapons, including long-range missiles. These missiles could potentially sink an aircraft carrier. This changing threat landscape raises questions about the survivability of aircraft carriers. In the past, US carriers faced few serious threats. They could operate with relative impunity. However, in a future conflict with a technologically advanced adversary, carriers could be vulnerable. The Navy argues that carriers are still relevant. They point to the Ford class's advanced capabilities. They also highlight the importance of air power in modern warfare. However, critics argue that the Navy needs to adapt to the changing times. They believe that relying too heavily on aircraft carriers could be a mistake. China is determined to challenge US naval dominance. It is investing heavily in its navy, developing a range of new ships and weapons. One of China's key goals is to develop the capability to deny the US Navy access to the Western Pacific. This strategy is known as anti-access/area denial, or A2/AD. A2/AD relies on a layered defense system. This system includes long-range missiles, submarines, and surface ships. China's goal is to create a no-go zone for the US Navy in the Western Pacific. Within this zone, Chinese forces would have the advantage. China's A2/AD strategy poses a serious challenge to the US Navy. In the past, the US Navy could operate freely in the Western Pacific. However, China's growing military power is changing the equation. The US can no longer assume that it will have unchallenged access to this strategically important region. This new reality has major implications for aircraft carriers. Carriers are large, expensive, and relatively slow. They are also vulnerable to attack. In a contested environment like the Western Pacific, carriers could be at risk. Section 4. Rethinking priorities, smarter spending for a changing world. The US Navy is facing a budget crunch and a growing range of threats. This situation requires tough choices. The Navy needs to prioritize its spending. Investing in effective 21st century platforms is crucial. Experts suggest investing in more affordable and survivable capabilities. Submarines are stealthy and can operate in contested waters. Unmanned systems offer flexibility and reduce risk to human life.